Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. It's time for your Chelsea versus Everton preview, fresh off the back of that Champions League reaction. And yeah, quarterfinals, Real Madrid, that's the first step. There's no point looking any further, although that semi-final SOS shocker of a draw is incoming. And yeah, Potter versus Ancelotti. If we were going back to those previous fixtures, it was managers and it was elite levels. Potter has got to prove. Potter must prove. He must try and prove his point against the elite coaches. It's going to be very interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to that game. But we move to Everton. We move to Everton at home. The last game before the international break. I'm going to have lots of content dropping for you over the international break. More videos. I'm going to be in Ireland, so I'm not going to be streaming as much. But obviously the weekly shows, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a streaming break. But I'm going to be dropping videos while I'm away anyway. I've actually got a really good video coming out on Sunday. It was going to come out today, but then I realized there's no point in dropping it today because everybody wants to know about the Champions League draw. So on Sunday, I'm going to be dropping my first kind of video that's non-game related. It will be your 23-24 predicted squad that I'm going with, what I think will happen in terms of sales, purchases, loans, recalls, releases, all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a great video. But let's talk about Everton. At home to Everton, of course, the injuries at the bottom of your screen in the scroll bar as always. Obviously Silva, obviously Sterling, on Mendy, Mount, Azpilicueta, Armando Broja. Those are the players that are missing for this match. Mount not available for England either. Neither is Sterling, it seems as well. That's just come out recently in the recent quotes. But obviously for Everton as well, no Calvert-Lewin, and that's the big one for me because he played at home in the game against Arsenal, Sean Dyche's first game, the 1-0 win, and he was integral in the way that they played, in the way that they went long. He held up the ball, brought Iwobi and McNeil into play, and that's where they kind of, that's where they found their joy. When he's not available, it's Moon Pie. Moon Pie signed from Brighton. This guy is not good. This guy is not a good striker. His finishing is horrendous. Hopefully I'm not jinxing things, but I really don't rate him. I don't really rate their attack either, so he should be keeping a clean sheet. I think if you look at their attack and you go through the teams in the bottom 6-7, they're the ones that are kind of least inspiring. McNeil, good tidy player, but Gray, and then you've got Iwobi and you've got Moon Pie, like I said, bruv. It's basically, it's borderline championship kind of stuff you've got up there. There's no real serious goal threat. There's no serious goal scorer. The one area that we need to be very careful of in terms of Everton and their threat is their centre-backs coming up for set pieces, whether that be, wide free kicks, whether that be corners. We need to try and prevent from conceding as many corners and wide free kicks as possible because, Connor Cody, Tarkowski, who scored that goal from the McNeil corner against Arsenal, Michael Keane, Onana, more. There's probably more. You don't want to be going up against these guys constantly on set pieces. That's where they're going to cause problems. We know exactly how Sean Dyche and Everton are going to come. They're going to set up in a 4-5-1. They're going to be difficult to break down. They're going to bring a low block to the table. They're going to play that V-shaped defense. They're going to be very narrow, close off all the inside spaces, and they're going to shove us out wide. It's bog standard. And they're going to have one striker up top, try and hit him, and then maybe get the wingers, Iwobi and McNeil, on the right and the left to try and, go down the flanks and give him some support. Their game plan is simple to understand and simple to get to grips with. What we struggle with, historically, unanimously, is breaking down low blocks. And this is where we're going to see if there's been any sort of development in how we play systematically, because we've had some really good individual moments from Enzo Fernandez against Leicester, that wonderful scooped pass into Kai Havertz. We've had some really good, lovely moments in terms of passing and combinations and getting those goals. But Leicester's individual defensive players I don't rate, and I said it at the time, their defense is poor and they concede a lot of goals and there's a lot of errors in there. This Everton team, at one point earlier on before the World Cup, they had the joint best defensive record. Their issue is that they're joint fewest goals scored in the league. Their defense, listen, they obviously will concede goals, they're down there, but they are a lot better defensively than they are going forward. They're gonna try and stick to their tasks and stick to their jobs, and they're going to be difficult to break down. Now, as Arsenal showed at the Emirates, if you do get going immediately and you play at a pace and you try and funnel that ball in between the lines into the Felixes, into the who will play? It'll probably be Kai Havertz, right? In between the lines. We're going to talk about my team in a minute. There's no Sterling. If you can get that early goal, then open sesame, it could be 4-0 like it was for them. But we're not as good as going forward as they are. We struggle in front of goal. most of the time, obviously not recently, but yeah, we need to be on our P's and Q's, and we need to be going full throttle from the beginning, because if we can win this game and we go into the international break, nice little break there, hopefully nobody comes back injured, and then we go to Aston Villa again, another game we should be winning, and then the fixtures start to get sticky icky with the Liverpools and etc. So we need to win the game. It's another must win, and any other result will be an extreme disappointment again for us and obviously Graham Potter. We need to make it 3 wins in a row, and I think a clean sheet definitely should be on the cards. We've been defending very well. Koulibaly at the back, I'll be sticking with him. Do you go over Badiashile or Cucurella? I'm tempted to actually put Badiashile back in because of the aerial threat that I'm talking about from set pieces. He's very good in the air. His aerial duel success rate was ridiculous at Monaco. So I think for me, Badiashile should be coming back into that side in the left side centre-back position, and I'll go for Fana at right side centre-back. Obviously Chilwell and Reece James on the wing-back positions. They seem to be okay to play. Kepa obviously in goal. My question mark with Kepa, as we continue to keep looking for a new goalkeeper again, is about that cross collection. Is he really going to help us on set pieces? Probably not. Mendy he's not even fit. So Kepa has to obviously play, and we know their problem, the issue is set pieces and height, and so we definitely, for me, have to add Badiashile in there just to give us an extra helping hand, because I don't expect Kepa to come out and try and collect versus Tchaikovsky versus Keane versus Cody versus Onana versus whoever they want to put in there. I don't expect Kepa to come and try and play with these guys when crosses come into the box. So for me, that's my back line. That's my back three with the wing backs. In midfield, I would stick to Cover and I would stick to Enzo. They're building up a nice partnership. Keep it. We're going to have most of the ball. Everton are going to sacrifice the ball, no problem. So they're the best players on the ball in terms of our team, better than Zakaria on the ball, etc. So get them on the ball as much as possible. You can have Zakaria or Loftus-Cheek on the bench if you need more height. Say we're winning the game 1-0, you need to close it. Bring Zakaria on, bring Loftus-Cheek on, get big tall guys on that can help you even more on those set pieces. But early on in the game, I'm expecting us to start quick and be on top of things. So those two in the midfield together. And then we go to the front three. This is where it gets interesting. Now, Felix is going to play. There's no Mason Mount. I wouldn't start Gallagher when you're trying to, put your best foot in forward in terms of attack, especially against a low block. So Felix definitely starts. Kai Havertz definitely starts. Now, Kai Havertz looks like he could potentially again play in that half space just on the right channel. Now, this is where it gets difficult because in the air, do we even bother contest with them, right? We know that they've got 3 centre-backs that they're going to play with, potentially 2 because they may even go over 4, but, Sean Dyche might just play 3 back there. I don't know, but he's going to have tall, commanding, demanding centre-backs, and they're going to be difficult to challenge in the air. So it's going to have to be intricate, most likely. It's going to have to be, combination play, 1-2s, and actually trying to open them up, maybe get the ball out wide, cutbacks, etc. So Kai Havertz, if he continues to pass in the manner that he's been passing, he's going to help us from a creativity standpoint, please God, in that half space in that channel. But who are we going to play up front? And this is where I'm once again potentially calling on the recall. I don't even know how this is coming into my brain. I'm just saying it. Aubameyang, listen, I know Aubameyang's not involved. I know he's not been playing. You know me, my stance on him, not my favourite player, not who I wanted in the summer. I've said it many a time. I say the same with Ziyech when I talk. But I'm giving my fair opinion here. We need somebody who's a bit of a fox in the box and has a bit of movement to them and can snap, chance, bang, goal. Because, if you're gonna, you could play Pulisic maybe next to Felix. You could bring in someone else like a Mudryk maybe. But I'm thinking about the needs of the game. Do I expect us to have to press from the front? Do I expect Everton to play out from the back? No. I think Pickford's just going to shove it up long. I don't think they're going to try and play out from the back anyway. I think they're going to go launch it, and then we're going to win, hopefully, the aerial duel and have possession again. It's going to be a very, very low block. So you might need someone in the box who can potentially get the goal and someone to hit for the cutbacks, for the crosses, in terms of, Aubameyang being alert and being ready for that. The chance creation with Enzo, Aubameyang's subtle movement, maybe, hopefully, he can capitalise. Because I'm looking at who's going to finish, who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, Felix has been incredibly unlucky. He's been hitting the post, the bar, etc. Alternatively, you could maybe go and start Pulisic, or you could start Mudryk and play Kai up front. Who would then play off to the right? That would be my concern. I don't think Mudryk would be best off the right. I don't think Pulisic would be best off the right. So I don't think that's a great alternative, in my opinion, if we go with that. I'm not really looking forward to seeing either of them on the right flank. You could maybe put Felix out there and put one of them on the left, but Felix has been predominantly playing off the left. So you're moving Felix, and then you're potentially disturbing his combination with Kai, who likes to drop into that right space. It's tough because if you play Mudryk up front, I think he could get kind of bullied a little bit by those centre backs, and the lack of experience and know-how that's not even his position. We saw against Leicester when he vacated and moved to the left, he was a lot better. So I don't really want to throw him up front again. And I don't want to potentially even put Felix up there as well, because I feel like Felix could also struggle for the first time in the Premier League to play up front, and you're coming up against these centre-backs who are just like old school. Could be a daunting task, because this is where I'm leaning towards maybe experience. But it's a long shot because he hasn't been involved at all. You're calling upon him in a random time, expecting something. Who knows where the motivation levels even are. This is a difficult position, so that's where I'm leaning to. Again, I'm never sold on, 100%, oh yeah, Aubameyang waxing lyrical, but that's just where my head's at right now. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think in terms of that front three. I think the rest of the team kind of picks itself. You might disagree with the Badiashile versus Cucurella. I'm just going with a better height for set pieces. But let me know what you think about the up front situation. It's not going to be Datro Fofana. Is he not ready? I've always felt he's not ready for the Premier League as of yet, and we've seen that cameo, even though decent, nice signs, is still early days. Too much pressure. He's been playing in the PL2 team recently anyway. So let me know what you think. It's an interesting situation, but we need to win. My score prediction is going to be a 2-0 win. I don't think we're going to blitz them, because I do think defensively they can cause us some aggro, but I'm going to go over 2-0 win. Like I said, let me know what you do with that striker situation. It's a difficult one. Like I said, there's no Sterling. You've got really Pulisic, Mudryk, or Madueke as well. And Madueke as an inside forward in this new system, I don't know, because we haven't really seen it. Probably not his forte. So that's another thing to think about, is the fact that we're playing with inside forwards, which maybe would lean more towards playing Pulisic over Mudryk. Against Leicester, when he played on the left wing, we were playing a 4-3-3. Obviously, Mudryk went to the left, Pulisic went to the right, and Kai down the middle. So he wasn't even playing as an inside forward. So tactically, it's an interesting one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.